Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Shilpa Data Insights. In today's video, we are going to discuss one major interview question which is being asked in PySpark. So I've covered a lot of questions already in PySpark. I hope you are pretty much aware of it. If you have not watched the PySpark playlist, I will highly recommend you to go ahead and watch the PySpark playlist because it has more than 40 questions already, right? And if you need more questions or if you are preparing for interviews, I will highly recommend you also to go ahead and get the interview success kit in which the PySpark interview questions are there. Along with it, a lot of other interview questions related to ADF, Databricks, Python, SQL, data modelings are also covered. I will put that in the description so that you can get the link and you can practice it by your own. So in today's video, the question is asked in TCS. So I will try to cover this question in PySpark in today's video. I have already covered it in SQL. If you want to practice the same question in SQL, you can also do it. And this question can be solved in different ways, right? So I have covered in one way. If you are trying to do it in a different way, do put it in the comment section as well. And I will highly recommend you guys to subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends to help grow each other. So let's get started with today's video that is asked in TCS in PySpark. So the question here is calculate the difference between the highest salary in marketing and engineering departments. Output just the absolute value of the differences in the salary. So there are a few things that's asked in this question. In this question, we are given a table, which is a salary table of the employees, and the employees belong to different departments. So the two departments that it belongs to is marketing and engineering, right? And we have to calculate the highest salary in the marketing and the engineering departments. Now, if I have to calculate the highest salary, after that, I have to calculate the difference between it. And then I have to calculate the absolute value. So let me go ahead and create my data frame first. So I have my data frame ready. I'll put it in the description so that you can practice it by your own. Now, this is my data set, that is df.display. We have names, we have marketing department, engineering department, and salary. So let me categorize this in engineering and marketing. So if you see, we have marketing here, which we have for 80,000, and for engineering, the maximum salary is 1,20,000, right? So it's 1,20,000, right? So that's my maximum salary. So I think this is per month salary that they have calculating it. So now in this particular question, the first step that I need is my maximum salary, right? So if I have to calculate the maximum salary in data frame, you know what it is exactly. If you don't know, maybe a lot of other questions I have covered it. So it's basically, to calculate it, you have to do a max and then you have to do a salary from that particular data frame, right? So now in this, for example, I'll do a df1. In this df1, I'll do a df dot aggregation. In this aggregation, I will go ahead and calculate the maximum salary. So you can see how I can calculate the maximum salary. It is with my max of this. So I'll just tell you what exactly it says. I'll just write it down first so that it is easier to understand. So it has helped me with an autofill. You will not get that autofill in your interviews or maybe in your projects. Databricks has the capability to do an autofill, right? So which is really helpful when you are working in projects specifically. So you can just write it down and do a tab and it will complete it. But this will not happen in interviews because they will not give you Databricks. They will maybe give you a notepad or an IDE or maybe a coding platform where you have to actually write it down, right? So now in this, if I go ahead, let me remove this. Yeah. So what it is doing is, I have to calculate the maximum salary. But if you remember, I also have to calculate the difference between the maximum salary for each department. Each department means, in this case, only engineering and marketing, right? So what I'm doing is, I'm checking when the department is equal to marketing, then I have to get the salary. So for each marketing, for example, for E name, that is marketing, I'll get the salary this, right? and I will calculate the max out of this. So therefore I have done a max. So max out of wherever there is a marketing, I will go ahead and get the salary for the maximum marketing department, which is 80,000, and I will alias it to as max of marketing. Now, the next is, if in case it's engineering, then I have to calculate the max. So that's what I have written here, that when the department is equal to engineering, then I have to get the salary and I have to calculate the maximum out of it. So if I calculate the maximum out of it, then it is going to give me the max, and I will alias it as max of engineering. And you have to wrap it up inside the aggregation function. Why? Because you are doing an aggregation, right? You are actually calculating the maximum value of it. So as you are doing an aggregation, so you do an aggregate and then max of this and alias of this, right? Now, let me go ahead and do one thing. I'll comment this out. We will calculate the difference on the later stage. Let me show you what exactly output is here. So if you see, we have the maximum marketing value, we have the maximum engineering value. So maximum marketing value, as we saw, it's 80 and 1.2 for engineering. So we have got the result properly. Now the next point is I have to calculate the difference, that is maximum of marketing minus maximum of engineering. So that's what I will do, and I'll create a new column called the salary difference, right? So what I have done is, if you don't know how to create a new column, it's using withColumn, right? You can also watch my previous video. I've explained you exactly how it works. Now, with the help of withColumn, you are doing a salary difference. And in the salary difference, you are calculating the absolute value of maximum marketing and the maximum of engineering, right? So why absolute? It's because it's given in the question that we have to find the absolute of it, right? So therefore I've done it absolute. If I don't do it absolute, let's not do an absolute first, and let me show you what exactly the result comes. So here I got, that is 80,000 minus 1.2, here becomes 40, right? So it is minus 40. So in the salary difference, you usually don't put it in a negative value. You actually want to find what is actual difference, right? So therefore, in this use case, we have provided an absolute. So what it will do is, it will not put a negative value, it will give you a positive value. So that's what it's given here. So it has given a salary difference of 40,000. So what is the use case of this in real world projects? As I mentioned in the SQL playlist as well, that absolute is required because you don't require some values in a particular column to be negative. You want it in a positive way, right? So therefore, in that scenarios, you actually need an absolute. So this is my df1.show. So this is my maximum marketing, maximum engineering, and salary difference. In the question, it is asking me to just select the salary difference. So what I will do is, I'll just do a salary difference and I will click on run, and it is going to show me what is the salary difference, and it has given me the value, right? Because I don't need all the columns in this case. So in this particular question, if you have seen, it's a little bit different approaches you need to follow. This question can also be solved in a different way, right? Try to do it in a different way and put it in the comment section, right? So that everyone can see different ways of solving this particular question. Now, in this question, let's come into a conclusion what exactly we learned. First is, we learned how to calculate the maximum value of a particular table. If we are given a particular department, how you can calculate the maximum value for that particular department using the when clause, right? And how we are doing an aggregation on that particular maximum. Then how we are calculating the difference between two values. The next point that we covered is how we are doing an absolute value, so that we don't need a negative value, we need a positive value out of it, right? And then how we are selecting the specific columns which are required. So we are just requiring salary difference, that's what we are selecting in the output, right? So there are multiple things that you are actually implementing in this question, and that's why this was asked in TCS. It's an easy level question. However, there are multiple things that you need to keep in mind while writing the code, right? And please make sure to write it with your hands. Just don't watch it. If you are watching the complete video, that's great. But after that, practice it. If you're not able to solve it, come back to the video, see the video again and see what exactly approach I have used, and then try to solve it again as well, right? So I hope you have liked this video. So do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And if you have any suggestion on what all other topics or videos I need to create on that will help you, please put it in the comment section. I will come up with those videos as well. So thank you so much for watching and keep learning and keep growing.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.